Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
Nick Kinslow.
I'm Tom Hoblet.
And what a fantastic weekend of racing in Sin City. All three races were spectacular. We're going to be getting into all that soon. But let's start off with our diecasts of the week. Nick, what'd you bring for us, bud?
So I was just kind of going through my collection. What have I played? What haven't I played? Well, this past weekend in Sin City, Kyle Larson took his number 5 car to victory lane. That place has been very kind to him recently, so I just thought I'd bust out. I have one Kyle Larson car in my collection, and that is the number 42 car, the McDonald's car from 2019. This is there's something funky with it. It's some kind of chrome, but this was part of one of my Black Friday deals. I think I got this for like $20. It's cool looking McDonald's car. I think he ran this at Atlanta.
Okay. I like how 3/4 of your diecast. Like, I got this on Black Friday.
That 2-year run when I did it, I think I added like 20 or 25 of them to the collection. So yeah, pretty much anything that is not a Trevor Bayne diecast or Daniel Hemrick diecast came from the Black Friday deal.
Nice. All right, Tom, what you got for us today?
All right, we saw Chase Elliott running around in that like weird red scheme, but with the blue number on it. But it reminded me of when he threw back to his dad Bill. So I'll pull up my Bill Elliott Dodge Ray Evernham car. These cars, they were so minimal, but they just look so good. You know, like it's very interesting how just iconic that 9 is, and all you need is Dodge on the side to make this car look good.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think the red wheels help as well.
Yeah, those Evernham cars were just beautiful, and they were, like you said, they were simple. Good times. All right, so for my diecast of the week, we're going to Phoenix. So I thought I had to throw it back to Kevin Harvick's last win at Phoenix Raceway was the spring race of 2018, and this was the week after he got the DNQ for his rear window. So it was great. After he won this, he just started smacking on the rear windshield, be like, "Yeah, look at that!" So great memory of his for Phoenix Raceway. And we can't go to Phoenix without talking about Kevin Harvick. He was the absolute GOAT of this track.
Yeah, truly.
All right, guys. Well, big story coming out from this weekend. We all saw it with Chris Buescher's tire coming off of the car. That will be resulting in 2 crew members being suspended from the 17 team, the front tire changer and the jackman. Really unfortunate to see for Chris Buescher. Kind of a rough start to the season with that. So yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen eventually, boys. These one lug nut tires are just they're tricky.
For sure. I mean, was struggling with speed and whatnot, so this last place finish doesn't help him. And then it's funny though, like you don't get the lug nut tight, so you kick the guy who's supposed to tighten lug nuts off and put a new guy in there who hasn't done it before. You know, like it's an interesting penalty for sure. But
Yeah.
the bigger thing with this one was Fox being like, when the crash happened, Clint Boyer's like, I've never seen this before. Like, how does this happen? And literally, like, we've seen this so many times where if the wheel's not tight, then the wheel rubs on the rotor and cuts the wheel in half and it comes off the car. It was just the way they were acting, like it was so weird. And we see this time and time again. Like, I'm pretty sure it happened to Ty Gibbs last year at this race or at this track. Maybe it was in the fall, but like, come on, Clint Boyer, get your head in the game, be better.
Classic Fox right there.
Yeah, ever since the next gen car has been introduced, we have had probably a giant highlight reels worth of tires coming off of the car. Like, it's just been so ridiculous, and it just makes me want to go back to the 5 lugs.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk Vegas. We started off with the Truck Series, and Raja Karuth won the pole for this one. A lot of speed in that 71, especially after getting that HendrickCars.com sponsorship. Just huge things coming for this guy, Raja.
He was set up for the weekend very well. I mean, a lot of momentum. Spire's looking good, and he got it done. Put it on the front of the show. I mean, nothing in front of you to wreck you out. So it was a good start to the weekend for him.
Absolutely. Ty Majeski scored very, very great points for the season with winning stages 1 and 2. And Kyle Busch black flagged for a safety violation. It seemed like he was just pissed off and didn't want to come in, so they eventually threw the black flag, had him come in. So Tom, you and me were saying you picked Kyle Busch and I picked Christopher Bell, and those two did not seem to work out well in the end for us.
No, 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 no. And whether it's Kyle or his crew, it's just the pit violations and penalties is already very annoying. And I'm like 3 weeks into the season. I'm already annoyed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we haven't even talked about the Cup Series race yet,
Yeah,
so
no, I'll save it for later. I'll save it for later, I guess.
And
Yeah.
then Raja Caruth puts on a clinic in the last laps of this race and wins. Becomes the third African American to win the top three touring series of the NASCAR. So pretty damn cool. His name is etched in the history books forever. And just what a great guy. Great story to see him coming up because he didn't start racing till he was like
No?
a teenager. He started with simulator racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an iRacer as well, so it's another great story right there, and I'm very happy for him. With Hendrick cars coming on for the full season, and then what I think that was announced earlier in the week that was going to happen, and then
Mhm.
he goes out and wins the damn race, gets his first career win. I mean, that you just love to see stories like that. That's such a big moment for our sport right there, and I really do hope that this is the first of many for him, and a great career that he's about to have.
Yeah, a lot of people are putting emphasis on his journey and his path to racing and whatnot because everybody thinks the iRacing the NASCAR pipeline has already been done with William Byron, but William was kind of doing it in high school, and then his dad had the means to put him in a real car and get that real physical experience on the track. Raja went through the Drive to Diversity program. He's from Washington. He's not from where all these other guys are. There's not. He didn't grow up racing. He didn't really set a foot in a car until he was doing the K&N and the Arca Menard series and whatnot. So it's been fantastic to watch. And you think if he can pick it up this quickly, sounds like he's willing to put in the work and learn and from all these drivers. And it's going to be fun to watch him grow.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Raja Caruth because yeah, this kid's just fast. I've seen the talent out of him last year, but just got caught up in so many people's messes and finally got to put a full race together and put it in victory lane. Spire Motorsports, their truck series team and their Cup series team looked
Yeah.
fantastic this weekend too. So big
Mhm.
things are happening for Spire and it's pretty cool to see.
It was
No,
a
very cool.
popular win. It was a popular win, and he was so humble about it on the track. Like, what is not to like about this guy? It was just a fun night for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, so
Back to Spire Motorsports really quickly because I remember when they came into the series, back into the sport in like 2019 or something like that. Everybody thought that they were just a cash grab, kind of a joke back marker of a team. And that's what they were for a couple of years, but really, this last like year and a half, 2 years, really since Corey LaJoie came over to that team, is when I want to say that the improvements have come, and now their Cup program's looking great. Their truck program's obviously looking very good. So yeah, that's really good to see for Spire.
They've got funding and they got talent, and they're building up to something special. And we're seeing the very beginnings of this with the truck series right now. Maybe not so much Cup. I think they're going to still have their ebbs and flows in Cup. Yeah, they looked good this weekend in the Cup series, but who knows if that continues. But the truck series coming out and leading all these laps, winning all these races already, it bodes really well for what that team has building.
yep. And it really, really helps when you get a guy like Kyle Busch into one of your trucks too to mentor all these guys.
Mhm.
It's
For
insane.
sure. For sure.
All right, so moving on to the Xfinity Series, we had Cole Custer leading the field to green, and oh man, early trouble for Parker Retzlaff. We know that this guy has speed every week. He got loose and smacked into the one of Sam Mayer, took out Sam Mayer for the rest of this race. Awful, awful
Man,
start to the season for this guy.
I was Sam Mayer. My God, what has he completed? Like, what did he say? Like, maybe 150, 200 laps all season long so far. The early wreck at Daytona. Now this week, yeah, awful start for the season.
You love when your pick to win goes out in the first 5 laps. Like just a solid start to a race.
Right? Yeah, so sucks for Sam Mayer. And then Chandler Smith, he won stage one in that 81 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Still kind of hard to get used to with the 81 rolling out there with JGR. But he's making it work. He's making identity for himself, and he won stage two after making a last lap pass on his teammate John Hunter Nemechek. That was huge. We know Nemechek is one of the best drivers that come around in this Xfinity series. So yeah, Chandler Smith got some talent. Happy to see that he's with a team that knows how to go fast, no longer struggling with colleague racing.
I mean, we knew he was fast, like all through the truck series and whatnot, and even then he would pull out impressive finishes with those colleague cars.
Oh yeah.
It just still surprises me that he was able to convince Toyota to let him go back after just like the weird comments he made going to colleague. But it's a good move for him, and he's up there competitive, scoring points.
So he's up there looking competitive. One guy who I didn't really see up there at all was his teammate, Sheldon Creed. He didn't look very fast on Saturday. Maybe these are just some early growing pains with the new team, new organization, but he wasn't really up there at all. And the finish is definitely not what he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with Cole Custer coming back to his Xfinity team last year. They struggled so hard. What do? He went and won the championship. I'm not saying he's going to go and win the championship, but I think better things are going to be coming towards his way with being with Gibbs than RCR.
He's got to settle in there and whatnot. You wish he would get a little bit more out of these stages. He finished 11th in stage one. He finished 14th in stage two. So he's right there trying to get those stage points. And it's people are already counting points. I mean, it's what you got to do. You got to get up to the top because it's hard to claw your way back. So if he can improve those little things and start racking in, get 3 or 4 more spots at each stage, and show up to the end of the races and finish, he'll get it done.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then John Hunter Nemechek just pulls an ass whooping and just wins this race. This guy is just incredible. It's amazing to see what he can do inside of an Xfinity Series car.
It's amazing how he, again, just reinvented himself and went back out there and just learned and learned and learned. We talk about on this show a lot about just the experience of some of these guys. And he wasn't going to learn anything running those, what is he, in the 38 in his rookie season?
The front row cars,
he wasn't going to learn much. I mean, who knows? Maybe if he stuck with it, front row's looking pretty good themselves recently. But he didn't have anything. He didn't think he was going to get anywhere, so he goes back down, restarts, and shows truly that he belongs in any ride that he wants to get into.
Yeah, he's the man. Anytime he steps into these Xfinity cars, you expect him to be up front, leading laps, winning races, and I think he's on for 10 races this season. So let's just get used to seeing that 20 car in victory lane quite a bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, guys, let's move over to the Cup Series. And we had Raiders punter AJ Cole giving probably one of the best commands I've seen all season. I don't know, Tom. I thought that was a pretty good command.
A little bit cringy. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're given if you're given a chance to do the command, you got to make it wild. If like you got to be loud, you got to be electric with it, and I enjoyed it. He had fun with it. You don't want to see one of these lame. You don't want to see one of these lame ass people from corporate coming in giving the worst commands we've ever seen, because we see that far too often. So
on behalf of the corn farmers of America, drivers, start your engines. Okay, I get it. He's fun. He's a punter though. Like, come on, let's get cool people in here. We go from the Rock to a punter in the NFL. Like,
Raiders ain't got much, man. They got to send their best, and that's a punter.
Really, the punter's the only one available? We couldn't get anybody. I'd take an offensive lineman. No, you got the punter. Okay, fine.
All I want is when we go to Pocono, I want Jason Kelsey to do the command, because you know that he'll be out there with like a luchador mask, hammered drunk.
Listen, he's not going to be very busy this summer. He's retired, so why not?
Why not?
Absolutely. I don't know. Nothing will ever beat Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and the Shaq doing the command.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing. All right. We had Joey Logano leading the field to green, and he didn't need a webbed glove to
No
help
glove.
him get the pole this time. This guy is just bad fast all season, starting on the front row. But man, he is just not able to put it together throughout these races. Just falls
Nope.
right back.
This is the
Yeah.
story. Like we're kind of been seeing this a lot with him. He's got the qualifying speed, but it's just not translating to the race speed. And it's I mean, his last win came last year at Atlanta. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's not time to panic for him yet, not by any means. But he's just kind of been ever since that Atlanta win. It's just kind of been. So I
Well,
don't know.
it's
They got to go back to
it's
the drawing board.
it's an even numbered year, so they'll figure it out with the 22 car, and he'll win the championship again.
Yeah,
Because
why not? Why not?
stupid.
He'll win two races, maybe one race in the regular season. He'll win three
Mhm.
three in the playoffs, and then he'll get it done. That's a typical Joey
And
Logano
he'll have
fashion
like
right
a
there.
bullshit win in the round of
Oh
8
yeah,
where he doesn't
oh
deserve and
yeah,
he'll point his way, and then he'll win the championship. And
Yeah.
Why not?
it'll happen for
Why
a third
not?
fucking time
Why
because
not?
you
Why not?
know.
Why not?
No,
Uh,
on Actions Detrimental, Denny was saying something interesting about the development of the new cars and how Ford had the least drag and Chevy had the most downforce. And when you're making those new cars, NASCAR made the benchmark Chevy's downforce and Ford's drag. So you couldn't be better than either of those. So I think we're going to see a lot of Ford poles, single car runs. They're not very draggy, especially on these bigger tracks and the ovals and whatnot. You're going to see a lot of Ford poles this year because they're not stuck to the ground. They're built for speed. They're built to cut through the air, um, and that's part of their new design. They want to start up front. Hopefully, they can hold those cars up front.
yeah, we shall see. A guy who did not have a good start to this race, Christopher Bell, right rear going down right at the start of the race, but he was able to continue, didn't wreck the thing, so not bad for him.
Yeah,
But
he scored a
then,
stage point too.
yeah, he
He even
did.
came back to 10th. So
Not bad at all. But someone who had much worse luck than our friend Christopher Bell was Christopher Buescher, with the unsecured tire coming off of the car. You could just see the lug nut coming off first, and then there came the tire. Just like we said in the beginning, really unfortunate circumstances for the 17 team to start the season.
Yeah, vicious hit too. They had to do some repairs to that wall, so
Yeah, red
never like to
flagged it
see
and had to
that.
weld it together. Like that was crazy,
well, you basically had the axle pierce the wall. Like it just there's nothing in the way of it. It's just the axle shoved into the wall.
right?
Finishes dead last, which is not
Yeah,
good. He's sitting 23rd in points right now.
yeah.
He's
He'll
68
get it
behind.
together. He'll get it
Yeah,
together.
sure. But again, RFK just in general has not shown the speed
I haven't
that they
been there
had
yet.
at the end of last year. They weren't really around in the super speedways, and now
Not
this
showing
Brad
the
wasn't.
speed, but Brad's
Yeah,
showing the
Brad wasn't
bumper.
around, but Brad finished the race well, but he didn't run well either. So that's something to
No.
keep an eye on down the line. Is if RFK is going to maintain or improve, or
Yeah.
Oh
God
yeah.
forbid, get worse.
We almost had
Oh yeah.
another Brad Keselowski casualty. I thought he took out Corey LaJoy there, but just took the air off of him and
Uh,
wrecked him. So
Corey's got to learn how to run at front, and this is why I want to pump the brakes on Spire. Totally being a good Cup team is like they have now that they're competitive, they're going to be running more towards the front, and we'll get to this later. But they just got to learn what it's like to run at the front with these guys. They're going to race them a different way, and they're going to learn that now that they're up there with them.
yeah, I mean Corey LaJoy, most of his career, he's been used to running like top 25 most of the time, and
Yeah,
now the
the guys he's racing for position, he used to have to pull out of the way, pull out of the line, and let him go.
Yeah.
yep
Now he's gonna race them, and they're gonna race him back.
yep now the team's
I do
got some
want to say,
speed.
now that we're on the notion of Spire, one guy, Carson Hocevar, he looked really good in this race. He was up there with those boys. I'm excited to see what Carson Hocevar can do this season. If he can not do what he did in the Truck Series and race him clean, race him respectfully, he's gonna have a good running this year. I think because that was just impressive. He was up there. He was around the top 15 most of the day. He was just laying down some good laps.
Carson Hocevar needs to go to the Ty Gibbs School for Cup Series rookies because Ty Gibbs when he came into the series, he also had that reputation of being a little bit of a hothead, being a bit cocky. Ty Gibbs put his head down. He just ran his own races and put out good finishes. And if Carson Hocevar can just stay out of trouble and get the experience, he'll be just fine. But we'll have to see how that develops.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the addition of speed and sponsors coming over to Spire. I mean, Chili's is freaking huge to begin with. And then just getting these like young drivers too with
Yeah.
Carson Hocevar and Zane Smith. I mean, yeah, they don't have a whole lot of experience in the Cup Series, but these guys are freaking talented and they can work together. They'd be great teammates. And yeah, I'm excited to see the future of Spire, but yeah, they're still gonna have some growing pains. I totally agree with you, Tom.
Yeah, apparently there was some and I don't remember who said it or where I heard it, but there was some interesting comments between Corey LaJoy and Carson Hocevar talking about each other. So that may have been interesting to go look into. I forget where I heard that. It might have been on E-Step's show or something out of the groove, but that's interesting. But no, Carson Hocevar, they said on a different show, I think it was Denny's show, they were talking about him, and they said he gets in equipment and makes it better. And that is something that has been consistent. If you forget about the attitude, you forget about the headspace, he gets in not so great equipment and runs really well. I mean, we saw it at Gateway last year when he ran Corey's car.
Yeah, Core's car
Yeah.
ran better than
Until
Core.
until his brake rotor blew up, he was running really well, top 20 in that car. So like if as long as he stays down that path and he's that Carson, then you're gonna have a good driver, so a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I totally agree. Alrighty, so we had Kyle Larson winning stage one after holding off Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick was fast in turns 3 and 4, but could not make it work on that front stretch there. That seemed to be the story of the day.
Story
It
of the
was
race,
just
yeah.
Tyler Reddick just chasing down Kyle Larson and just could not catch him.
He would lose track position in the pits and they'd run him all the way back down and
Yeah.
just would run out of time every single
Yeah.
time.
That's your typical 2311 pit crew, man. They're just so
Well, he said
slow.
it best. He said it best in his post race interview. He's like, "This is just the same shit in a new year or something like that." He's fed up with it because I don't know what it is. It's just 2311 and their pit crews are just
They started from scratch. They are developing their own athletes, and it takes time. It's not like you bring it. We're talking about football players earlier. You're bringing in all these athletes who are college athletes and whatnot. I mean, you see it when Fox goes through some of the pit crews. They're like, I was a tight end, I was a cornerback, and now I'm running around a car changing tires. Like it's not something that you'd think of growing up to be like an athlete's dream. So like it's going to take some time to develop these guys and get them to a Hendrick or a Gibbs level and whatnot. But when you're trying to be a premier team, you can't keep borrowing from those other premier teams and getting their lower guys. You have to build your own and develop your own, and it's going to come. They've got their new shop, Airspeed, and it's got its own pit development area and whatnot. Their own set of training. They just have to get better, and it sucks for Tyler right now. Denny said it himself. He said the pit crew has cost him 2 or 3 wins.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
it sucks. It sucks. He keeps playing from behind, but until they get their stuff together,
Yep.
he's got to keep doing it.
Gotta get your shit together. That's for sure if you want to get some wins for your drivers. We had Christopher Bell getting loose again, spinning around. Again, wasn't able to hit anything, so he was able to continue. And
Yeah, these cars are edgy and it was windy out there, so
yeah, real freaking windy. I think during the Xfinity Series race, they said there was wind gusts of like 70 miles an hour.
yeah, they didn't even have any camera people on the roof. They had to shoot all that. They had to shoot that whole race on ground level, and I thought Fox did honestly very well with that setback. They did great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, these cars are edgy and they were messing with the right rear tires, and you thought we were going to see another one of those races, but Christopher Bell just seemed to lose it, maybe pushing a little too hard.
All right, we had Kyle Larson once again winning stage 2, holding off that 45 of Tyler Reddick. And then
Wonder if we'll see that again.
Yep, and then Tom, here comes Kyle Busch's penalty over the line.
No, there was one before that because there was a caution. It was the Christopher Bell spin, and Kyle Busch lost like 16 spots on pit road.
Oh,
with
that's
like
right.
8 laps to go. He was running third, and he could have gotten stage points. I mean, in stage 1, Kyle finished 4th. He could have gotten good stage points at stage 2, but the pit crew fucked up, and he lost like 18 spots. He ended up 16th in stage 2. And then, yeah, in those green flag pit stops, he slides over the top. They were talking all day about how slippery those pit stalls were, and he just slid through it. And these guys got to see that and push him back. I know it's fast. I know what's going on, but like where the time you lose pushing the car back is not nearly the same as the time you lose. Oh my goodness. It was just, I was ready to flip over my desk at work. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, he cost me a good fantasy day because I had him in my fantasy lineup, and he cost me
He
pretty
was a
big there.
top 5, maybe top 3
Oh
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I put him in there. He was fast on the
And he
charts.
brings it home 26th. And
Yeah.
he was leading the points going into this race. He is in 6th.
Yeah. So not a good
Granted, it was
weekend
by
for
1
Rowdy.
point, but
Not a good
we
weekend for Rowdy in Sin
we
City.
raced. We raced. So that's about it.
Yeah.
We showed up to
And
race.
cross out the rest of that.
Yeah.
All right, and then Corey LaJoy, wrecking after getting the air off of Brad Keselowski. Man, like we were saying, this 7 car was just having a great day, and yeah, like we said, just got to learn to run in front
Sure.
with these guys.
Sure. I mean, he
They're
was running up
aggressive.
there. He got stage points in stage 1, barely missed out on them in stage 2. Like he's up there, he's contending. And like again, you expect Spire to show up at the Daytonas and the Atlantas, but
Yeah,
maybe
no,
not
this
so
is
much here.
huge.
This is a really good look.
Yeah, pretty damn cool. And then that 10 car, Noah Gregson, he had a rocket in this final stage.
Yeah.
He was
Where
just
did he come
moving.
from?
Yeah, Stewart House found some speed in that 10 car. He looked like he was almost going to make it into the top 3, but then he just could not get around Blaney and Chastain that were fighting with each other. And pretty funny, Chastain was kind of mocking Blaney after that whole thing too. So they got a little bit of beef going on after the whole Phoenix incident when Blaney was just like cursing him out over the radio. But
Yeah, I mean, again, Chastain won the race, Blaney won the championship. I think that should be water under the bridge. But that's Chastain is the younger sibling. They're just going to keep poking you until you freak out, and then mom freaks out at the older sibling for freaking out. Like, he's annoying. He's a little rat. Like, it's great. You love it.
Yeah, but Noah Gregson, he was able to put that thing into 6th place, top 10 with that 10 car. So
Yeah.
pretty damn cool to see that maybe this team does have some speed.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's a very impressive for Noah coming back this season. We didn't know what the equipment level of SHR was really gonna be. I mean, Chase Briscoe, he was fast in this race. Noah Gregson, he was fast in this race. So their cars had some power in them. I'm curious to see as we go throughout the season if they're gonna build how they build on this. But yeah, Gregson, I thought he was going to get a top 3 finish, and I was going to be like, "Are you kidding me?" But no, yeah, that is a solid race for that 10 team to build on going forward in the season.
And think if he didn't lose 35 points.
Yeah, that's just it. Because he's still in the third. He's got 25 points on the season now because of that.
He scored 31 points in this race. So it's interesting. It's tough. We're 3 races in, but we did 2 super speedways, so we can't jump to conclude. We're like, oh no, Larson's gonna die. There's all these people trying to jump to conclusions on all this. Oh, again, you got Daniel Suarez finishing up in top 10 or top 11, excuse me.
Yeah.
You got one Stuart Haas car up there. You're like, oh, maybe they figured it out. There's so much going on with Stuart Haas right now. All the rumors about them not re-signing with Ford and what that's going to mean. I need a bigger sample size before I jump to any conclusions about some of these guys. But like Kyle Busch and his pit crew and his pit issues, I'm jumping to conclusions because it's been 3 straight races that I've seen that pit crew make mistake or Kyle speed on pit road, and they're just throwing away good points and good finishes. And we'll think about this when the regular season ends, and Kyle's
Yeah.
maybe the 12th seed instead of the 8th seed.
Usually for me, every year, I give it the first 10 races. After the first 10 races, you kind of know who your players are. You know who's going to be good. You know who's maybe going to not be so good. And so I usually like to give it 10 races, and then you usually get a good grip as to who's showing up this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I mean, we look at Ryan Blaney, who didn't get his first win till the Coca-Cola 600, and then just kind of,
He turned it on at the right time, and
yeah, for real.
but young Ryan Blaney's also second in points right now, so it's a hard balance because you're like, this is the first real race, but the first 2 races you did earn points for him. You earned points for the clash, like or not the clash, the duels. So like there's ways to get ahead, and it's good to be out in front. But again, we gotta see a few more things develop first.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyle Larson jumping 10 spots in the point standings is wild. He is now the leader. He was 10th coming into this race.
Yeah.
This track
I mean,
for Kyle Larson. I mean,
maxed it out.
he came back. Ever since he came back, I think his first win in the 5 car was at this racetrack.
It was.
So
Yeah.
this past couple of years, Las Vegas has been very, very kind to Kyle Larson, and yeah, he's damn good here.
Hendrick in general.
Hendrick, is
so
damn good here.
Except for Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott just can't find victory lane here, but everyone else can.
Yeah,
Chase
for
Elliott
sure.
doesn't even have a top 5. Chase Elliott doesn't even have a top 5 in the next gen car yet. Isn't that crazy?
Wait.
That's in the next gen?
No, wait.
No, he doesn't have a top 5 in the next gen car on mile and a halfs.
Mile and a half. That's what it is.
Mile and a half. Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I was like,
that's still crazy though.
But no, it is. That is.
That's still
again. That's a former
though.
champion, and he's struggling with this, that, and the other, and whatnot. Yeah. I mean, Bowman and Elliott are the anomalies right now. Byron and Larson, they're great. They're firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting. It's not time to burn the boat with these guys yet, but
no. Oh no.
But you're starting to raise an eyebrow. It's like, what is going on with the 48? What's going on with the 9? Why can't they get back to where they were?
Right.
Yeah. Very crazy to see, because we thought Chase Elliott would be a guy who would be contending for wins every single week, but
Chase Elliott is also the type of guy that's going to point you to death too. So like he would race consistently, and maybe he's not winning, but he's always poking around 6th to 4th place and scoring those points.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, guys, I think that is a good spot to end on our show. You guys got anything else to add?
Ready for Phoenix. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
We're in the thick of it now.
First true mile and a half in the books, and it was a solid race. I mean, the battle between the 5 and the 45, that's good stuff. You like to see it. Yeah, ready to get to Phoenix. Ready to get to Phoenix in our first race and this new short track package that we're supposed to be rolling out here. So we're gonna see how it goes. It could be messy, but it could be bad. But we're gonna watch it anyway.
Aero changes on short tracks aren't gonna do anything. So I don't know.
Yep. We shall see how it goes. But guys, make sure to tune into our Phoenix preview. That's going to be out here in a day or two. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure to check out our merchandise. All the links are down below. So that'll do it for us. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Kinzel.
I'm Tom Hoblin.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.